Well, howdy. My name is Gant and welcome back to Lucid9. Last time, we were fighting against, Masato and Yahiko for some fried chicken. I love me some fried chicken. And then, we were hanging out with Rui a little bit. Like, we were just running, taking a detour from school. She fell and I gotta pick her up princess style, like Princess Leia. And when we got to school, in the front entrance, we met Misaki, and Rui was like, you know what I mean, just walks past her like, Misaki's like, hi! And she's like, nope, bye bitch. What am I doing? I'm like, doing Death's voice for some reason. Alright, I'm just having too much fun right now. Alright, let's get started. Classes get off to a dreary start. Yahiko naps through math. I almost follow suit. The teacher's voice is hypnotic, and not in a good way. Elizabeth glares at me through English, probably because the teacher had me recite some Edgar Allan Poe, and I found it so stupid that I didn't even try to get the accent right. What the fuck does that even mean, like, the accent? Like, was I going like, what's Edgar Allan Poe? He's like, dreary, depression, and whatever bullshit, right? So was he like, I'm in a happy tune, so the raven or whatever the fuck it was, telltale heart, yay! Sorry, your highness, that we're not all bilingual like your perfect self. Oh, it has to be in English. I'm stupid, I forgot this game is in Japanese, like, they're in Japan. Then, it's world history. Our teacher arrives in camouflage getup, proudly waving Ishimu's city flag and screaming at the top of his lungs. Okay, maggots, listen up. You think school is easy? You think this will be a cakewalk? Well, you're right, because this blasted place has gone soft. Back in my day, we didn't have no study guides. Textbooks? We had to write them ourselves. Upside down, uphill, in the snow, both ways. Yeah. Just look at these two, look at all of them, they're like, what the fuck is up with this guy? While my peer seems petrified, I only smile musingly. If only all classes were like this. None of you have any excuse to get less than a 90 on your test. So help me, if I see a single 80, I'll give you a taste of the old days. Like that. Yahiko's sliding beneath his desk as if he wants to melt into the chair. The old days? The teacher's eyes flare with delight, as if he was waiting to be asked. That's right, them old days. They sting us up by the... They string us up by our ankles over a pit of hungry lions. Yahiko squeals and buries himself under his desk. Do lions even exist in Japan? They probably do, you know what I mean? Like in zoos and everything. Alright, maggots, let's get this party started. Booyah! Like the actual teacher walks in, it's like, who the fuck left this loony bin inside the classroom? Who are you? This is Ishimu. He's like, security. This is not even the teacher watch. The teacher thrusts a heavy finger at the board, setting the test to each of our desks. You got till 11:25, sissies. Then it's judgment day. With that, he flops on his chair, props his feet on the tabletop, and stuffs his face into a ragged newspaper. I give the test a once-over. I should have studied more, but maybe I can bluff the right answers. Okay, let's see. What was Europeans' rapid colonization of Africa after 1880 driven by? Let's see. Raw materials, strategic advances and new markets, heavy demand for workers in European factories, interest in tourism and game hunting. Well, it's not the middle one because, don't get me wrong, factories are a good thing, but most of the colonies that they have weren't really, you know, I think it's just raw materials, strategic advances, and new markets. Okay, because raw materials like gold or whatever, strategic advantage maybe like in attacking enemy or something, getting like Egypt for the fucking, what's their name, the British, right? They got the canal right there, so it's easy to get through the fucking, you know, the oceans and everything. Then new markets. Well, whatever materials they take is like for new markets. There's the spices from India. And I don't know if they sold slaves. I'm not 100% about British, because I don't really know too much about the slave trade. I know it was the Dutch, the Spanish. Well, they mostly got the, you know what I mean, Africans, you know, bring into their colonies. Let's see. Yeah, the first one, because the other two are stupid. What does the ancient yin yang Chinese symbol represent? Isn't that the one about good and evil? Dualism is in which everything is in conflicts and unresolvable. The Zen concept of unity in artistic expression. The theory that everything in opposite but complementary. Fuck, I don't even know. It's the first one. Or is it the third one? Because like they have the little circles in them too, where it's like, even though there's good in you, even though there's good, there's a little bit of evil, and even if there's evil, there's a little bit of good, or that bullshit, right? Everything is opposite but complementary. Dualism. Someone help me. Give me a lifeline. No, the third one. I'm gonna pick that one. Write the correct chronological order, at least 3 current world religions. Chronological order? So, what would it be? I don't know when Buddhism came, but I'm gonna say Christianity first, Buddhism second, because Islam was way later, like towards like the Middle Ages. Like Christianity, that was the Roman Empire during the Empire, not the Republic, like Empire during Augustus, I want to say, or whoever. So that one first. Buddhism, I don't really know too much about Buddhism, but I know that Islam came like right after the fucking Roman Empire, so that one. What was the intention of China's Great Leap Forward? I don't fucking know. You guys might be saying like, hey, yeah, we came here to watch the game, not you explaining, like doing homework. Ah, fuck, did they expel Japanese occupation from Korea? Oh yeah, when Korea, the first Korean, like whatever, when they first invaded Korea for the first time during the, you know, after the Sengoku Jidai, I want to say. But no. Great Leap Forward. Industrialized Chinese economy. I think that one. Like after, when they say China, I'm thinking the communist one right now. And industrializing did help the economy. Or would it be the third one? No, they got fucked over in the third world. Expand Chinese influence in the third world. It's the second one. What European practice did colonial Spanish America in Encompida system emulate? It's not primogeniture because it's not the sun. Manneralism. I want to say that one. That one better than I expected. I glanced around the classroom, gauging the reactions of my peers. They ranged from triumph to utter despair. Surprisingly, Yahiko is the fastest rider of all of them all, triumphing even Elizabeth. Out of curiosity, I steal a peek at his test. Name. Calling people names is rude. Date. I'm not dating anyone right now. List several ways the Russians prepared for the Cold War. They wore really big coats and took medicine every 6 hours. Name several ways the Russians prepared for the Cold War. Fuck. How did they prepare? it would be the alliances with the Warsaw Pact. Probably would be the first one I could think of. Other than that, I don't really know too much about Russia and the Cold War. Describe how Hitler gained influence in Germany. They produced a lot of chocolate until they were the biggest candy factory in Asia. First of all, Yahiko, you don't even know where Germany is. But how he gained influence was crazy because after World War One, when the German Empire fell and they installed the fucking Weimar Republic, like, you know what I mean, a lot of shit wasn't going so well. Their economy was shit. They're paying war reparations and a lot of shit. Like, bread costs like like a lot of money. So people went to like these political parties, and the fucking Nazi party was one of them. And Hitler rose to power because he was the loudest one there. He told people how we're gonna be great again. You know what I mean? Is he for real? What major event incited the Japanese capitulation during World War II? The nuclear bomb? Well, yeah. Oh, he almost got this one right. Yahiko. Time for sign language. Your answer on number 3 is wrong. He grins and shoots me a thumbs up. Wait, wasn't number 3 the nuclear bomb? What major event incited the Japanese capitulation during World War II? The Rigo movie premiere. Motherfucker, I'm an asshole. I'm such an asshole. But yeah, the capitulation would be the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Because without that, we would be fighting on the fucking islands, like on the island Japan, and that would have been devastating. I don't know if we did the right thing with the bombs or not, but you know what I mean? We can't change the past, and it had to be done, alright? He raises his eyebrow at me. How's this? I nod encouragingly. Now all of his answers will look dumb. That's more consistent. I return to my exam. The last question that remains is a long essay. Elaborate on one of the following historical themes with at least 3 specific examples from covered material. Subjugation of humanity. Well, that's easy. You could either talk about how kings, subjugate their peasantry. You could say, like the Russians when they made that Warsaw Pact. Even though the Warsaw Pact, like, they were okay with being communism, like, after a while they wanted independence, and Russia was like, no. You know what I mean? Then, what's another one? Oh, enslaving African Americans. World. That's one. Economic inequality, wealth distribution, disparity. Well, you get to say how people are poor and people living in poverty. Or you could go like even further, like in third world countries where they're right there all poor even though they have good natural resources. While you look at places like the USA, UK, and how they're all rich, you know what I mean? Like, look at first world countries. Roles of religion in society. Well, that one's self-explanatory. Like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism in India, how, you know what I mean? The whole society is all Hindu, and how it affects, maybe government a little bit. Well, this would be easy. I select the first option and start rambling about how everyone sucks, and it is unbelievably power hungry. It's the easiest essay I've ever written. I finished with plenty of time to spare. After I handed in my test, I took a moment to evaluate my surroundings. Oh, Yahiko reaches the essay perfect. He selects the second option, the economic gap between wealthy and poor. Let's take a look. I'm gonna do it in his voice. I'm gonna do this voice for now on. I believe that the solution to all of the conflicts and stuff between rich people and poor people is that they should try to understand each other. Like rich people need to realize the hardships of the poor and try to do something about it. And the poor need to understand that not all rich people are the same. That's all he pens before he turns in his test. He's completely missed the point of the question, but that was an unusually sober answer considering he's, well, Yaiko. Yeah, he missed the point, but let's elaborate on that. Like, sorry guys, I'm getting like really political because I'm drinking right now. Yeah, why do you always drink when you do these videos? It's like I got off work and I'm thirsty. You know, leave me alone. I'm not an alcoholic. I drink like once a week. So yeah, this will be my first drink of the week. And it's only one, so shut up. It's not drunk. It's like calms my nerves to like, let's talk about politics. Okay, so wealthy, right? There's no solution to it, but yeah, people should the rich should understand how it is down here. Like, you've never been in East Los, you never been around people who will mug you, you never been around people who want to kick your ass because, you know, no reason at all. You never heard drive-bys, you never heard bullshit, you never seen cholos, you know what I mean? And we have to understand that not all rich people are the same. There's some that are greedy who would rather keep all of their money to themselves. There are some people who actually use that wealth to try to change the world. And in a capitalist society, anyone could be rich if you put your heart to it. And that's the thing that some rich people don't want us poor people to know. If we put our mind to it, we could be rich. We could, you know what I mean? By being financially okay, man. Like, maybe not rich, but we could be living well off and good. If we take steps, maybe invest in stocks, invest in bonds, you know what I mean? Try to do something with our money. Be financially, you know what I mean? Financially educated. And it's a terrible thing that most people don't know how to be financially educated. Like most poor people, and most people that I know, like, whenever they get money, they take on new expenses, you know what I mean? Like, let's just say you got a new job, and you know what I mean, you're making more money than you were before. And now your expenses are low because you're making more money. Well, you're gonna be like, I want to buy a new car and take on car payments. Now your expenses are almost close to the money you're making now, and now you're living paycheck by paycheck instead of maybe using that money, invest it somewhere, right? Then you go buy a new car. So your investments will pay for your car payments while your money that you work for goes in your pocket, while you can invest in something else, then go get something else. Yeah, you got smart. Oh man, get with the fucking game. You've been like, this scene, we could have been done with this whole scene sequence, but yeah. Okay. Right up my entertainment, I stare into space and think about nothing as class continues on. Well, the lunch bell rings. Everything seems to happen at once. Misaki leaps to her feet, snatches up her backpack, and storms to the classroom door. I hurriedly tap her on the shoulder. Where are you off to? Huh? To track down Ruri, of course. You sound like you're stalking prey. Who says I'm not? And obviously with no intention of slowing down, she barrels out of the room with a single purpose. As she does so, a group of girls race into the room, crowding around Elizabeth. Hey! Is this you, Elizabeth? You won the art contest! Gosh! Isn't there anything you aren't good at? It's so amazing! It's such an amazing painting! You're so cool! Elizabeth smiles at her groupies, unusually gentle. Thank you. She coughs delicately. Oh, sorry. My throat is feeling a bit dry. Oh, stay right here. I'll get some tea for you. Hurry up. Don't keep her waiting. Elizabeth smiles in appreciation as the groupies sprint out of the classroom. The whole display just makes me want to gag. Then Masato comes roaring in. I cringe, expecting yet another sales pitch for the track team, but he crashes past me, grabbing one of my heartless classmates. You! Who? Me? You started a better family feud, you ignorant whelp! What? I've never seen you in my life! You mess with my little bro, you mess with me! Come here! Misato seizes the student's ears and drags him into the hallway, leaving a trail of gossiping students in his wake. Huh, weird. I never knew Misato had a little brother. See ya, dude. What? Where are you going? To see applications for my amazing clever course. You interested in joining? It's called the Happy Club. Suddenly, I'm very glad that I had other plans. Have fun with that. He only beams. I will. And with that, he promptly disappears. That was oddly hysteric for an ordinary school day. Hectic for an ordinary school day. Well, at least it's convenient. Now I left to my own devices. Alright, Akira. It's time to have a few words with you. Oh, the blonde girl. I enter the cafe with laser focus, searching for a familiar head of blonde hair. I vaguely notice Yahiko gesturing exaggerately to a few skeptical students, but I pass over them. After a few minutes of circling the cafeteria, I still haven't caught a sight of my intended target. Sapori, Sarge. Sapaperoni, Sarge. I quickly whip around and come face to face with the subject of my search, a bright-eyed girl bubbling with energy, as demonstrated by her tendency to bounce off on the ball of her feet. Hey, Akira. It's been a while, Sarge. I can't help but sigh. I can sense that the musing conversation will be very long and a difficult one. My name isn't Sarge. I never said it was. Then why do you keep calling me Sarge? Because Sarge, it's short for sergeant. She stops, as if that's an adequate explanation. And I'm hungry, so let's get some food. She skips to the buffet table to swipe her card. This girl, it's impossible to get a straight answer out of her. Akira is an interesting case. She and Ruri joined drama club last year. That's how they became friends, or so they claim. It didn't take long for them to become close, and this year, they're roaming together. Akira, well, if I had to describe her, I'd say she's free-spirited, doing her own thing, off in her own world. She doesn't really associate with us much, just Ruri. She's a bit eccentric, though. I suppose in a refreshing way. I suppose. When we got in our food, Akira makes her way to an obscure corner of the cafeteria and digs through her bag, pulling out a green and white pallet blanket with a flourish. I present to you Annette Diana Helenson fucking 17. I crane my neck, trying to peek into her bag. Where? Here. It's the fucking blanket, isn't it? She shakes the blanket. The blanket? Oh, don't be rude. How would you feel if Annette Diana Helenson the 17th called you the human all the time? Use her name. I'm not going through all of that effort just to spare the feelings of an inanimate object. She frowns at me, but gently layers the blanket on the floor. Don't come crying of Annette Diana Helenson the 17th exacts retribution on you for the grave insults you've just made. Sure I'll live. Akira only shrugs and settles on the blanket. A few students in the background sends us bewildered glances. Why don't we just sit at a table? Why don't we just sit on the ground? Chairs are meant to be sat on. So's the ground. What? Fine, you sit on the ground, I'll sit on the table. Akira sighs and obliquely stuffs Annette Diana Ellinson, the 17th, back into her bag. You know, if Rory and I are like peas in a pod, you're like this awkward leaf that's growing really far down the stem. I see you all the time, but we never actually hang out. That's not really fair. You chose not to hang out with us. On second thought, I'm not sure if I'll be able to handle Akira on a daily basis. Aw, Sarge, I never said it was your fault.
Right.
I gather myself as Akira takes a seat beside me and starts digging in. The ankle incident. Just ask her about the ankle incident, and this whole nightmare will be over. Something interesting happened today. Did you pretend that you were... Fuck, what the fuck? Did you pretend that you were a cross-dressing duchess?
Oh, what?
Guess not. Too bad. That would have definitely be interesting. Most brains have unconnected neurons, but I'm beginning to think that Kira's brain is structured without rhyme or reason. No, Ruri tripped and injured her ankle. Oh no! Well, I don't think she actually injured it. She was running around on it just a few minutes later. Did you carry her? Yeah. Piggyback? Why does that matter? Oh, the healing power of true love. How I envy your bond. You see, love is like an antidepressant with herbal infusions. Most of the time, people just don't... Fine. Most of the time, people just get involved so they just feel that they feel good, regardless of the actual results. But sometimes, if your bond is truly deep, it can actually physically heal you. Only sometimes though, like maybe less than 0.0016% of the time. I carried her bridal style, actually. But bridal style? 10 times the healing power. 10 times the bond. Like a...
Fuck.
Like a covalent bond or ionic, depending on the properties. Her way of thinking is impressive. Honestly, I don't even know how she makes these associations. Look, Akira, can you just give me a straight answer? The angle of your question, the angle of an answer is irrelevant, since an answer is an abstract concept and therefore is not a subject to angle in the first place. Right. Do you have anything to do with Ruri's pretending to injure her ankle? I plead the fifth. Isn't that American? Oh, right. I plead the 38th. I can only sigh at this. Is that the actual Japanese law book? The 38th. That's the one where it's like, we cannot talk without a lawyer. Akira definitely has something to do with it. If past examples are anything to go by, she probably formed an elaborate plan and managed to convince Ruri to just go along with it. Look, I know Ruri's your friend, but stop trying to matchmake us. Honestly, it's getting a little annoying. Just like how you pretended that you don't notice Ruri's feelings? I take back everything I said about Kira being refreshing. She isn't refreshing at all. She's a meddler. Look, it isn't exactly your business. Can you just stay out of it? Oh, but it is my business, more than you might think. That sounds ominous. Still, it'll end up hurting Ruri. Do you want that? Why would Ruri get hurt? Just let me deal with it, okay? It's already complicated enough. It doesn't have to be. This is just too much trouble. Look, Akira, what you're doing will only end up hurting Ruri. If you just want to bug me, that's fine, but leave Ruri out of it. I scoop up my dishes and leave the table before she has a chance to speak. Maybe it's rude, but I'm not encouraging any delusional fantasies regarding Ruri and me. I head back to the classroom, spending the rest of my lunch period half-heartedly studying. Afternoon classes pass by uneventfully. Elizabeth seems to be in a good mood from the praises of her groupies. She's completely ignores me instead of hassling me. Yahiko is unusually quiet. Even Masaki is all but silent. From her clouded expression, I guess that her discussion with Rui didn't go too well. When the bell rings, I'm almost unsettled at how quiet the day was. The lull of the afternoon seems to settle in every crevice of the classroom, bringing a haze of sleep with it. The teacher's voice slips to an indescribable drone as every student struggles to keep their eyes open for a few remaining minutes of the school. Understood. Alright, homeroom dismissed. Immediately, everyone bolts to their feet, shouting adamantly as they make their way out of the classroom. On the 4th day of school, we're already sick of it. I guess that's 3rd year for you. Oh hey, Misaki! Didn't you see the new episode of Govern Mecher yesterday? Yes, of course! I tuned in to the live stream the moment it opened. Oh wow, it's the unexpected BFFs. So, what did you think? Well, when I saw the President J. Graves simultaneously... Wait! No spoilers, sorry, no spoilers! You know, since Yama might not have seen it yet. Oh, right, I didn't see it. How exceedingly generous of him. I thought it was entertaining as always. It was the best episode so far, wasn't it? Fuck, I missed it. It definitely was. Well, no offense, but I don't think the bar is set very high. What's this, man? Did you get a real girlfriend? A wild Masato appears. Masato, my man. Masato, my man. How was your vengeance? Wait, what? Some punk paid a group of boys to bully Masato's little brother because he hated Masato. But I bet that Masato gave him a taste of his own medicine. Hell yeah, I did. You pick a fight with one Kirigane, you pick a fight with all of them. Wait, won't you get in trouble for hitting him? He'll definitely tattle on you. Bah, hit him. Nah, man, I locked him in a room and taught him the clusters of decomposition theorem, making him write a paper on it on one sitting. Somehow that sounds a lot more horrifying than just getting beaten up. Man. Yeah, but don't mess with family, man. Family members are crazy. Don't mess with my family, don't mess with yours. Hi, I don't think we've met. Who are you? I transferred here yesterday. Misaki Kazihara, at your service. She's super cool. She watches Governor Mech, and she's a model. Ha, that's cool. Name's Misato Kugane. I'm on the track team. He stops there. We wait for a moment, expecting more elaborate introduction. Ah, and? And what? That's all that matters, ain't it? Not the fact that he's the president of the honors club, or one of the top students in the school, or 3rd year. I take it you enjoy track then? Hell yeah! Track is like water. Without it, you'll die. Track is like air. Without it, you die. Track is like fried chicken. Without it, you die. That's some dedication. Yep, and I'm staying that way, or my name isn't... Fuck. Yep, and I'm staying this way, or my name's Yama Ishimoto. That was really uncalled for. Well, as long as you keep it up, I'm sure you'll accomplish anything. Says every cliche movie ever. They ignore me and firmly shake hands. Looks like she's becoming friends with everyone. Everyone except Ruri, ironically enough. So, how do y'all know each other? Yama Ruri are childhood friends actually. Whoa, really? Why ain't Ruri here then? An awkward silence falls between Misaki and I, with a hapless Yahiko in the middle. Huh, now that you mention it, she should be here by now. You don't think she got called for cleanup duty, do you? We don't have cleanup duty, Yahiko. The school pays for janitors. Oh, that would explain a lot. How many years has he been at the school again? Hold on. Someone's gonna give me a straight answer. Where's Ruri? Misaki clears her throat and steels herself. We're not in the best terms at the moment, but I'm working to resolve the issue as soon as possible. You sound like you're debugging some code, Miki. But it's true. We're not getting along particularly well. Masato inches away from her, suddenly cautious. Huh, I see. See what? You guys were just getting along. Masato turns to Miki with a grave expression. I don't know, man. Something about you seems sus. That's kind of harsh, but at least he told her up right front. What? I should have seen it earlier, but yeah, you're too nice. Okay. Don't you work in the modeling industry? Ain't you supposed to be cutthroat and all that? It's not like I'm some kind of dastardly mastermind. Then, what's the deal with you and Ruri? I like to know that myself. She's the one ignoring me. They both stare each other down. None of us budging. Ah, hell, I don't know. I'm going to track. He strides out of the classroom without any farewell or apologies. That was strange. Sorry about that, Misaki. Sorry about that, Misaki. Masha's not usually like that. Maybe he ate something funny. I doubt it. Well, this has got awkward. First Ruri, now Masato, pushing Miki out into the cold. Usually they're the warmest and the most inclusive people I've known. But this time... Something saves me. Anything. Is that the call from the detective lady? Huh, that was convenient. Why are you holding it sideways? I gave her like a deep voice, didn't I? Café de la Paxi, 5 p.m. Do not dare to be late, or I shall dock your pay. Also, I insist you share your location with me. I go ahead and assume that this is from Shiguri, Divine Master. Wait, isn't this a volunteer basis? What kind of pay am I getting? And the final message. Wait a minute. Does your phone even support location sharing? The answer is almost immediate. Yes. But it's so old. Some implements improve with age. Ishiyama. Unlike your brain, I predict. Is that his whole name? I just been calling him Yama this whole time. His whole name is Ishiyama. Unlike your brain, I predict. Okay, I just moved my chair, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. I was clicking this and it's like, oh, I could go up and down. Whee! Can I play games on my phone? Oh shit. I skipped through all of that. Why am I working for this woman again? Whenever I mash a few buttons to share my location... Whatever. I mashed a few buttons to share my location with her. It's not like she'll break into my house and steal my stuff, right? Since she's a detective in official capacity, she gets in a lot of trouble. Wait, why am I legitimately entertaining this idea? This woman terrifies me. Dude, why are you smiling? Huh? Smiling? Grinning, as a matter of fact. Grimacing, not grinning. There's a big difference. Sorry, but something came up. Turns out that I have to go. Oh, that's fine. I have my club to go to see to. Oh, you have a club? Yeah, I just started it. Wanna join? It's called the Happy Club. Oh, sorry, but my work schedule limits my ability to participate in clubs. Oh well, that makes sense. Wow, smooth. Should get into politics. Who in their right mind would actually want to join a club called the Happy Club? Hey, I would join, you know why? Because I want to be happy. Fuck off. I've been depressed my whole life. Then, ladies and gentle fellows, I shall be off. See ya. Bye, Yahiko. You too, Misaki. Have a good rest of your day, Yama. And with that, we managed to barely salvage the awkward atmosphere as we go our separate ways. I pull up this Café de la Paxi on my phone and find that it's in the same street as GFC. Well, that makes this fuck. I can't read for shit. Okay, let me sit up straight. Okay. I'm slapping myself right now. Alright, go time. Oh wait, I'm already 43 minutes in. Go time. Well, that makes this walk, make this an easy walk. Well, of course, she's referring to the other Café de la Paxi, which is on the far away border on District 8. Unless she, of course, is referring to the other Café de la Paxi, which is on the... Might as well try the closest one first. Shiguri doesn't seem like the one to go out of her way just to make me miserable. Or rather, she does seem like the type of to inconvenience herself. Those last two, I did not read that right. What the fuck? There are a cliche of high school academy students throughout the streets, girls immersed in superficial gossip, and guys exchanging ridiculous stares. I pass by a handful of police officers on the way. They nod courteously, but there's a shadow to their evaluating gaze. I keep my stride long and my steps quick as I round the corner to the denoted rendezvous point. When I first see the place, I have to double check my phone to make sure I didn't take a wrong turn somewhere. By the quaint, lovely name, I was expecting some charming, vibrant of the polished establishment Buck Smart Coffee House. Instead, I'm met with a definition of modest. Chipped paint, dusty windows, and swaying signs with 3 broken letters. Maybe this is Shigori's way of exchanging vengeance. I take a deep breath before I enter the cafe. Ooh, surprisingly, the place is really decent on the inside. Sophisticated and sleek, the array of elegant furniture is punctuated by the black grand piano along the far wall of the cafe. A delectable smell of butter, sugar, drips from the counter of the shop, where several intricate glass displays boast rows of unique pastries reminiscent of a fairy tale world. Welcome, may I take your order? The cashier greets me with a smile, drawing me to the front counter. Wait a minute, isn't she? Come to think of it, I'd never seen where she goes after class ends. Of all people, it would be you. Consider it your lucky day. Just give me your order. Huh, this situation is too good to pass up. Elizabeth, a cashier? Do enlighten me. Why would such a wealthy, empowered young lady stoop to making lattes and washing dishes? Work experience, obviously. Every successful person comes from humble beginnings. I might believe her, but the way she averts her eyes is suspicious. So, why didn't your parents get you some cushy internship at your dream corporation? You know, some people want to earn their success instead of being spoon-fed by their parents. But being spoon-fed is so much easier. I've learned by now that comments like these will tick off Elizabeth more than actual insults. Sure enough, it works. You're insufferable. What's that? What's that? I should be complimented to customer service about I should complain to customer service about an abusive cashier. Just order already. As I lazily glance over the pastry display, a flicker of motion catches my eye. Isn't that she has a stalker. It's the girl who always hangs around Elizabeth. An ordinary student settles in the corner and elbows proper at her table. Eyes glint in amusement as she absent-mindedly twirls a pencil between her fingers. Her back is slouched, her smile carefree, but there's something that seems a little odd about her. Elizabeth seems to notice my switch of attention and clears her throat. Are you going to order? Are you going to waste space like always? Ooh, give him a moment, Beth. I glance at the books that lying open face on her table. Advanced English, Semtech, and Grammatical Principles version 3. That's the same text that I have for English. She must also be a third year, but in a different class. Head tilted slightly, eyebrows raised, just barely. I get the impression that she's studying me just as hard as I am studying her. Who are you? Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before demanding my identity? You're just Buddy Lizzie. Lizzie has probably told you. Courtesy isn't my strong suit. Oh, then what is? Nothing. Just a bit of friendly advice, Beth, but you may want to watch your step around this one. What makes you say that? Why, he's figured you out. This elicits an unusual reaction from Elizabeth, biting lips, fiddling hands, and anxious shift of the eyes. Odd, I don't recall figuring out anything. Well, Yama, why don't you give Beth a little grace? Her eyes are twinkling at me, challengingly, like she knows I don't know. But wants me to figure it out. Why would she do that? Why isn't she taking Elizabeth's side? Fine, I'll apologize. Just don't tell anyone. Well now, I really have no idea what's going on, but I might as well go along with it. Well, yeah. Why shouldn't I? Oh! She seems at a loss for words. I can't help but grin. You'll pay me. You know I can't do that. That catches me off guard, but thankfully, I'm able to hide my expression just in time. Interesting, she can't pay. That can only mean that she's not as high and mighty as she pretends to be. Maybe her spending is restricted by her parents, or maybe she's legitimately poor. This just gets better and better. So, is that big of a deal if everyone finds out? Don't even think about it. Yup, definitely not the rich, perfect princess that everyone was led to believe she was. Say pretty please with a cherry on top. Pretty please with a cherry on top. As begging goes, it's subpar, but I decide to let it go. I don't plan on making her life miserable. It's more of a power thing, with blackmail hanging over her head, she'll finally stop bothering me. I turn around the corner to survey the pastry case. Elizabeth's shoulders drop in relief. The girl at the table loses interest and returns to fiddling with her pencil. You never did tell me your name. Am I obliged to? As you said, it's common courtesy. Now, when did I say I was courteous? She brushes her pencil in her bag. She brushes her pencil in her bag and slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth. I'll see you later, Beth. And Yama, play nice. She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. Come to think of it, how does she know my name? She probably learned it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth rings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie as I spend a few minutes pondering at the strange girl. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in clear expiration. Her name is Natsuki Tanaka. Now, you can hit on her. Congratulations! I lean over the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think she's the one I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slightly scent, country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly majestic. I suddenly bulldozed by a sensory outlash. I can see the curls of her long lashes, the gleam of her eyes, every perfect taper point of every hair, the supple curves of her lips. I stagger backwards, fighting against the image in my head. I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. No. Yama, you're gonna like her too. First Ruri, now Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let it mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover my slip up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill out from my hands, and before I can process what's happening, she wraps her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. For a few seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch from my jawline. Keep what change? You didn't give me enough in the first place! She releases me, and I glance at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000 yen? Crap, she's right. I feel a blush flare on my cheeks as I slide another bill to her, the corner of her mouth pulling up just slightly. Careful. Wouldn't want anyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make my smoothie. I hate to admit it, but she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Get a grip, Yama. Dude, I'm fucking tired. This is Elizabeth, who hounds you all of last year. The Elizabeth who keeps butting into things that aren't her business. The Elizabeth who believes that everything is in her control. That Elizabeth. Back to my senses. I select a butter croissant and throw the other 2 pastries in my backpack. There's not much to do, so I follow Elizabeth to the blenders. Apparently she recovers, because her face is set to its default disapproving skull. What are you doing? Eating a croissant? Stop staring! You know, your workstation has a window for a reason. And that reason is not for you to stare at me like a pervert. What about, hiring fanboy? Blimey, you're insufferable. I can't help but chuckle as a ting of English leaks through her accent. So, are you actually from England? Why are you asking me all these questions? I'm bored, and you're taking a long time to make my smoothie. Maybe I wouldn't take so long if you would stop distracting me. Maybe you need to learn how to actually focus. She huffily slams the lid on the blender and starts it up. The roar of the machine blurs the sound between us. Oh dear, I would like some tea and... Oh, dear me. I would like some tea and crumpets. Elizabeth's shoulders tightened in clear ignorance. Tally-ho, old sport. What say to you to some fish and chips? The blender picks up speed until it begins to whine. The weather is possibly gashfully today, is it not? Then, the blender stops. Elizabeth wordlessly pours the mixture into a cup and caps it, handing it over the window. Firstly, I was born and raised in Japan just like everyone else. Secondly, just because you're not bilingual doesn't mean you have to mock people who are. She tears the wrapper off the end of the straw and sticks it roughly into the smoothie. Have a nice day. Come again. With that, she strides into the back room, leaving me by myself. I actually feel uneasy as I settle into a corner. I expected Elizabeth to lash out at me, just like every other time. But she was calm. Honest, even if clearly annoyed. Is her heritage a weak spot? Did I bring up something that should have been left alone? Furthermore, why am I letting it bother me? She never showed me mercy, not on the days where I just wanted to be left alone, the days where life almost wasn't worth it. Shouldn't I do the same? As I bite into my croissant, hopefully to distract myself with its taste, the door of the cafe swings open. And I'm gonna leave it there, because I'm going over like an hour. So if you like this video, I'm not gonna lie, it's a good game. I like doing the voice actings, but I don't know what it is recently. I just been fucking up reading. I don't know, man. Maybe you could help me. Should I read more books? Should I learn how to read words? Should I get my brain checked? I don't know, man. Anyway. Well, I'm signing out. Oh, wait, no. I didn't do the... If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to see whenever I post any more Lucid 9. And leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing these fine days. Tell me if you like the series. Tell me if I'm being a good sport. Nah, I don't need any appreciation, but I don't know. I kind of want to read comments, man. Like, I remember the discussions that we had for, what was it, Tenor Enigma, the ending of it? It was dope. God, are you insecure? No. Are you sure? Probably not, but I don't give a fuck. Okay, this is farewell, and as always, bye-bye.